world watched as Harry and Meghan walked away from royal life, fleeing tradition for freedom, duty for deals, and Buckingham Palace for California sunshine. But they didn't leave everything behind. They kept the titles, they kept the prestige, and that is where the story turns dark. Behind the gold-plated gates and carefully worded press releases, a quiet war has been raging, not between brothers, but between worlds, one of duty, the other of branding. Prince William isn't speaking. Publicly, he doesn't need to, because insiders say the plan is already in motion, not just to silence the noise, but to erase it altogether. When the crown passes from father to son, the titles Duke and Duchess of Sussex could vanish legally, permanently, and without apology. And when it happens, there won't be a headline, just a quiet line on the royal website, and the final curtain falling on the most dramatic royal chapter of our time. Welcome to the endgame. This is the story of how Prince William is preparing to remove Meghan Markle from the royal map for good. For decades, the royal family relied on a strategy as old as the crown itself: silence. When scandal erupted, when emotions swelled, when reputations trembled, the answer was always the same: say nothing, smile politely, carry on. It worked for generations. Until Harry and Meghan, the couple once hailed as the monarchy's modern hope, stunned the world when they stepped down from their senior royal roles. Their exit wasn't just unexpected, it was sized. What followed were accusations, interviews, memoirs, documentaries, and dramatic revelations that stripped away Buckingham's facade of unity. Yet, through it all, William stayed quiet, loyal to the institution, loyal to tradition. Until now. According to insiders, Prince William has finally reached his breaking point. The quiet diplomacy, the carefully managed PR, the countless private pleas for restraint, they've all been ignored. And now, a new strategy is emerging, one rooted not in emotion, but in resolve. The turning point. A moment that may have seemed small on the surface but was monumental behind closed doors. On what would have been Princess Diana's birthday, Meghan promoted her latest brand initiative, a product line, cleverly curated, elegantly marketed, but stamped with the unmistakable seal, Meghan, Duchess of Sussex. To the public, it was just another celebrity endorsement. To William, it was a provocation. Using their late mother's memory as a platform for personal branding crossed an invisible line that had long been sacred. Insiders say it was the moment William stopped hoping for change and began planning for action. He no longer views Meghan's choices as clumsy or naive. He sees them as calculated, strategic, and in his eyes, deliberately harmful to the institution he will one day lead. This isn't just about personal betrayal, it's about legacy, and for William, protecting that legacy means doing what no monarch has dared to do before. He's done waiting. And the next move, it won't be made in public. It'll happen in silence behind palace doors, inside legal chambers, beneath the polished floors of Westminster, and when it does, the world will feel it. The British monarchy thrives on structure, symbolism, and above all, titles aren't just ceremonial decorations, they're vessels of legacy, honor, and obligation. And for centuries, they've been guarded with near religious reverence. When Harry and Meghan made their historic exit in 2020, it was agreed they would keep the titles Duke and Duchess of Sussex. At the time, many considered it a peace offering, bridge between old responsibilities and their new life. But William now sees it as a glaring mistake, one that has allowed a dangerous precedent to take root. Since stepping back, Meghan has wielded the title not as a reminder of duty, but as a powerful personal brand. From television deals to book contracts, from a Spotify saga to Netflix documentaries, almost every major venture has been wrapped in the ribbon of royalty. The title Duchess of Sussex has become her most valuable asset, not because of what it represents, but because of how it sells. What was once a gift of grace has morphed into a commercial logo. Then came American Riviera, Orchard, Meghan's latest lifestyle brand, lavishly curated, immaculately photographed, and unmistakably branded with the name Meghan, Duchess of Sussex. To the palace. This wasn't just another product line, it was a line in the sand. And when Meghan corrected a prominent interviewer to be introduced not as Meghan Markle, but as Meghan Sussex, something snapped inside the House of Windsor. That correction, subtle as it was, sent a clear message. The title wasn't just part of her past, it was central to her identity, her strategy, and her commercial future. To William, this isn't a petty grievance. It's a constitutional crisis in the making. If a royal title can be used this freely, this blatantly for private gain, what does that say about the institution itself? For William, the time for watching is over. The era of action has begun. King Charles has long walked a path of diplomacy and restraint. Unlike his son, he is a monarch who prefers the long game, the quiet conversation over the dramatic confrontation. And for good reason. He ascended to the throne amidst family tension, health battles, and global scrutiny. The last thing he wanted was to ignite another firestorm, especially one involving his own son. Despite being blindsided by Harry's memoir, Spare, and stung by Meghan's public criticism, Charles has hesitated. Removing the Sussex titles would be a media explosion, one that could damage not just relationships, but the monarchy's image as a whole. At 75, and facing a cancer diagnosis, Charles has chosen peace over principle. Insiders suggest he fears the fallout more than he desires justice. He doesn't want to be remembered as the king who erased his son, but William sees things differently. He's not looking for a legacy of hesitation. He wants clarity, finality, and above all, accountability. To him, Charles' caution has allowed too much ambiguity to fester. It's given Harry and Meghan room to weaponize their titles while avoiding the responsibility that comes with them. And William won't let that ambiguity define his reign. Because to the future king, compromise isn't strength, it's erosion. And so, where Charles waits, William builds. Palace sources whisper of late night meetings, documents drafted in utmost secrecy, advisors summoned in hushed tones. This isn't tabloid speculation, it's a blueprint being refined behind velvet curtains. Prince William is laying the groundwork for one of the most consequential acts in modern royal history, the legal removal of the Sussex titles. The process is neither quick nor simple. Royal titles, especially dukedoms, are bound by centuries-old protocols. Stripping them requires not just family consensus, but parliamentary action, an act of parliament, a formal process, and yet it's already underway. Legal teams have reportedly explored every avenue. The language has been drafted. Strategic alliances in Parliament are being quietly courted. Senior aides are positioning the pieces like chess masters. This is not vengeance, it's legal engineering. When the moment comes, William won't be starting the process, he'll be activating it. Every signature, every vote, every statement will already be prepared. All he'll need is the throne. And once he has it, history will move swiftly. Timing is everything. And for William, the clock is ticking. With each new product launch, each podcast appearance, each headline that features the phrase Duchess of Sussex, Meghan tightens her grip on a title meant to signify royal service, not personal enterprise. Her new brand, as ever, by Meghan, Duchess of Sussex, isn't just a company, it's a billboard. One that leans into royal prestige while actively distancing itself from royal responsibility. To palace insiders, it's more than distasteful, it's strategic defiance. Every Instagram post, every press release that flaunts the title undermines the very institution it comes from. And the longer it continues, the harder it becomes to untangle royalty from marketing. William knows this. He knows that silence enables exploitation, and he understands that each unchallenged act normalizes the behavior. He's not acting out of spite. He's acting out of urgency, because in this game of public perception, delay equals defeat, and William has no intention of losing. What once might have been a risky move, stripping titles from a royal couple, has now become a popular one. Public opinion in the UK has shifted dramatically. Where there was once sympathy, now there is skepticism. The charm offensive that once captivated millions has lost its magic. Poll after poll shows Harry and Meghan's popularity dwindling. In fact, only one royal ranks lower in public favor, Prince Andrew, and that comparison alone paints a stark picture of how far the Sussexes have fallen in the eyes of the people. But it's not just the public. Inside the palace walls, patience has thinned to a razor's edge. Courtiers, once instructed to treat Harry and Meghan's departure with delicacy, now speak of them in colder terms. The nickname the gruesome twosome is whispered more frequently in corridors once filled with admiration. Senior advisors no longer see this as a family feud. They see it as a branding war that the monarchy is losing. And losing it comes with a cost: credibility. Even Queen Camilla, known for her restraint, is said to have urged Charles to cut the Sussexes from his will, a silent but potent move to express that loyalty must be earned, not inherited. In this environment, William's plan isn't just tolerated, it's gaining powerful allies. From the Commons to the Crown, voices are aligning. The monarchy must send a message, and that message is clear. You cannot trash the throne and keep the treasure. There comes a time in every reign where lines must be drawn, firm, visible, and irreversible. For William, that moment has arrived, and he's drawing that line not with a pen, but with principle. He has reportedly told close advisors that in his reign, loyalty will not be negotiable. Titles, honors, and privileges will no longer be treated as family heirlooms, they will be earned and maintained through duty. Meghan and Harry, in William's eyes, abandoned that duty. They made their choice, but they've tried to keep the perks that came with the life they left behind, and that, he believes, sends the wrong message to the press, to the public, and to future royals. Because if walking away still grants access to royal branding, what stops the next generation from doing the same? William's mindset is forged in responsibility. He has seen how blurred boundaries weaken institutions, and as future king, he intends to restore those boundaries with precision. The line has been drawn, and when he ascends to the throne, it will be enforced. There will be no royal decree from a balcony, no dramatic family confrontation televised for the world to see. William's move will be quiet, surgical, inevitable, a vote in Parliament, a legal adjustment, a few clicks behind the scenes. Suddenly, the official royal website no longer lists Duke and Duchess of Sussex. No mention of HRH, just names. Civilian names. It will happen without warning, without fanfare, without public debate, but it will resonate like thunder through the royal halls. And for Meghan and Harry, it will mark the end of an era. The last symbolic link to the crown severed not with anger, but with finality. They will still be celebrities, still be influencers, but they will no longer be royalty. The title will be gone, the royal prestige erased, and what remains will be theirs and only theirs to carry. William isn't just reacting to a scandal, he's rewriting the rulebook. His vision of monarchy is less sentimental, more strategic. Gone are the days of silent tolerance. In their place, accountability, structure, and a return to sacred tradition. He knows the crown must evolve. But evolution does not mean erosion. William believes titles should be sacred again, not tools for marketing, not weapons in a media war. In his monarchy, duty comes first, legacy comes next, and only then does privilege have a place. The Sussex saga to William isn't just a personal betrayal, it's a lesson, a warning. Future royals will look back at this as a defining moment, a precedent, the day the monarchy decided to stop looking the other way and started drawing lines that matter. There will be no victory speech, no public gloating, just a new page quietly added to the royal story. One day, perhaps months after William becomes king, eagle-eyed observers will notice a change on the official website. A name gone, a title erased, no headlines, no banners, just silence. The silence of something finished. For Harry and Meghan, it may not feel like a defeat. They'll still command attention, still draw headlines, but the identity they clung to, royal legacy they infused into every product, every deal, every appearance will be gone. They wanted a new life, and now they'll have it, but with no turning back, no half-frail, half-freedom illusion, just separation. And for William, that will be enough. A quiet act, a defining decision, a crown reclaimed. The monarchy has always been about image, but behind the smiles and ceremonies lies something colder, sharper. William isn't just protecting a legacy, he's rebuilding one. When he becomes king, he won't just wear the crown, he'll wield it. The titles, the history, the blurred lines there, all being cleaned up. Not out of cruelty, but necessity, but because in William's world, loyalty isn't optional. And for Meghan and Harry, there's no going back. The royal name they've built brands on, will vanish with a click. No speeches, no second chances. Just a name erased from history. And for the House of Windsor, it won't be a scandal, it'll be a statement. You don't get to leave the throne room and take the crown with you. So as the world waits for the next coronation, one thing is certain, the final move isn't coming. It's already begun.